pound 770. Pound 770. All right, let's go to my attorney real quick and let's ask him the magic question. Larry, Larry, one-liner. I even forgot your name. You haven't been here one time. Larry, one-liner hike, my attorney at law. Are you there?
I'm here, Scott. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How's your bubble bath, my friend?
I just got out. I'm completely naked, and, for some reason, I think Billy clicked me off when I told him I was naked.
Billy misses you. He teared up when he found out you weren't going to be sitting across the desk from me.
Well, I wanted to meet Miss M over there.
Miss M is...
likes it dry and long.
All right. Okay, my attorney at law, let me ask you a quick question, which seems to be the question at hand, is there a way for prosecutors to prosecute or bring charges against the parents of these children that they're saying were molested or funked with, if you will? Can they bring charges for these parents for child endangerment?
Well, technically, you're not going to like the answer, but it's probably no, because he was never convicted.
Well, if he does get convicted, these very parents are bringing charges against Michael Jackson. When he's convicted, can it come back to bite them?
Yes, it can. And I think the one.
Let's have an applause for that, Billy. Give me an applause. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, what I was going to say is, in the situations that I've read about, is when there's a person who's been a repeat offender, okay, meaning that it's not just one time, but apparently the situation occurred on more than one occasion where Michael had the child sleep over.
Right.
Certainly when the parent knows and does nothing but allows the child to go back, the answer is yes, they can be brought up on charges.
Well, praise God. Let's do a round of applause in the studio. Good. Yeah. All right. All right.
Your studio, then.
I tell you what, we're going to bring Larry back on next week. Thank you, Larry. Go back to your pedicure, all right, buddy?
All right, Scott. Have a good one. See
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Larry.
Bye, Larry. When I look into Larry's face, it's just like the face of the moon.
He's ignorant.
It's the face of the moon.
Sometimes he's ignorant, though.
Hey, let's go to Karen. Karen, you're on the Scott Connor Show.
Hi, Scott. Couple different comments. I'm a great kisser. Number 2, Michael Jackson is definitely a pedophile. Number 3, I'm a sexual abuse survivor, and I hear this community get all upset about having sex offenders living near them.
Right.
Well, those are the ones who have been identified. Those are not the ones you need to worry about. If you're next to a neighbor that hasn't been caught yet, who wants to do your kid?
Can I get just we're not making fun of children who have been abused at all. You know that, right, Karen?
Right.
Okay. Were there signs? Were you young when it happened?
Oh, I was from 18 months till I was 11.
Oh my God! Now let me ask you a question. Okay. Were there signs that now that you're an adult, you look at the adults that were supposed to be protecting you and looking out for you? Can you point at them and say, you know what? I'm angry.
Me?
Yeah, you didn't protect me.
You bet. You bet. But back then, also, you were talking. I'm 43 years old.
Right.
Things weren't out in the open as much as they are now. But yeah, there was definitely signs, and people didn't do what they should have done.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's an awareness more now than there were then?
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to be with your child is suspect.
Yeah, exactly. I've in fact, you know what, Karen, I'm going to give you $20 gift certificate to Carrabba's. How about that?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love your show, Scott.
Thank you, love. I grew up in an abusive home. My friends are in the studio right now that know me well. They knew that I was abused from day one, thrown into walls, thrown out glass windows. I was chronically abused until I was almost out of high school. I can tell these stories. And I look back now, and just like Karen said, I look at the adults, my grandparents and my aunts and uncles, and I actually look at them and say, what was wrong with you? And back then, you didn't get involved. And I think that part of that mentality survives to this day, if you will. People don't want to get involved. And I know that if you suspect a child being abused, being physically or sexually or mentally, and I'm not talking about spanking your kids. I'm a firm believer in whooping your kids down if they're being bad. I'm a firm believer, not beating them, but beating them down. But that still survives to this day, and people need to get involved. If I see something that's a little hinky at Walmart, believe me, I'm the kind of guy, and I got 3 friends sitting around me right now who are shaking their head yes. I'm the kind of guy that will go up to the person and say, I think this is hinky.
Friends.
Well, I got dollar bills sitting here, so Sarah's definitely a friend of mine.
Oh, I'm your friend.
Okay. Anyway, let's take Chris real quick. Chris,
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Whoa. Okay. What's up, Chris?
Hey, how's it going? Hey, I was calling to tell you, I've actually been inside Neverland Ranch about a year.
No. Chris gets a gift certificate right off the bat.
Yeah, the place, it looks just like Disneyland. The only difference is the rides were slower and a little more adult-orientated.
Really? Now, what were you doing there?
I'm just kidding with you, man.
You don't get Billy squat.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. What should we give him? Do you want to give him some Blue Sun? Yeah, let's give him some massages. I'll let a guy work on him.
Give him a razz.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Yeah, you get a male therapist, my friends. Chris calling him. I've been in Neverland. Hey, speaking of Neverland, my hillbilly friend. Have you ever been on a slow ride?
Like them fast.
Into the mic.
Fast and rough. Fast and rough.
God, oh my God.
Backflips and whatnot.
That's what I get for bringing a hillbilly on the show. I'm a redneck, and I got the hillbilly, and I got a very classy-looking, beautiful lady sitting across from us, Miss M, in the wild card seat. And I got this very classy, handsome, strong, muy macho.
Hey. Oh, thank you.
Oh God. Anyways, let's go to another caller. Hey, Don, you're on the Scott Connor Show.
Hi, Scott. Long-time listener, first-time caller. That's your show.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, you can ask your hillbilly friend there that Michael Jackson's heart ain't right. Anybody that wants to spend time with children, that has a place of Neverland, Peter Pan syndrome, there's something wrong with them. And for teachers that female teachers that want to have sex with school children, there's something not right with them either. And as well as the parents that would allow their kids to even want to spend time with Michael Jackson are definitely prostituting their kids out. And their kids will have to deal with this for the rest of their entire lives.
Hey, Don, did you hear our attorney say that if Michael Jackson is convicted, the very parents that are bringing charges against Michael Jackson, it can come back to bite him? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Isn't that great news?
That is great news, and they ought to be nailed to the wall.
They should be nailed to the wall.
Kids will have, as you can tell, as someone being an abused child, you will never. You spend the rest of your life trying to put your life back together.
I wasn't sexually abused as a child, but I was physically abused, and I definitely understand what that means. But that in my case, it's turned out somewhat white. I'm sorry. It's turned out white because white people get abused with curtain rinds.
Yeah.
I said curtain rinds. Oh man! Hey Don, I'm going to give you a gracious. I'm glad that Larry had that insight because that makes me happy. That it's going to come back to bite these parents.
Yeah.
I mean, these parents need to be put away. They need to be. Yeah, and he's. I don't know. Let's see what Bill has to say. Hey, Bill, you're on the Scott Connor Show.
Oh, Scott, I just called to say that your show has been a revelation. I had my cousin here from Arkansas, and we were discussing pedophiles, and he said that they were people that hung out around animal shelters. And I told him no, it was a carpenter's tool. But then when we tuned in, you clarified it for both of us.
My hillbilly friend, do you understand what he's saying? Can you translate for me? Stop laughing.
What was that?
Can you translate? What is he saying? I mean, Louis here to translate Spanish. Miss M's here to translate mathematics, and you're here to translate hillbilly.
Now, is English first language?
I'm going to attempt this.
Okay, he's going to attempt this, Bill.
I'm going to attempt, but I'm not sure. I don't have the Arkansas thing down pat.
But okay, go ahead. What is he saying?
You want me to repeat?
Yeah, repeat it. Repeat it again.
Okay, well, I've got
slow. Remember, I'm a hillbilly. You got to talk slow.
Okay, I've got my cousin here from Arkansas, and we were talking about pedophiles, and he thought that they were people that hung out around animal shelters. And I corrected him, and I said, no, it's a carpenter's tool. And then we tuned into you, and now we're straightened out.
All right. What is it?
Scott Connor making a difference.
We